This picture just appeared to mind in the moment because I opened the window. Now, I had a revelation in the night that I should open all the windows in my house because of the dangers of bad fumes, bad air in the house. Now, when I got up, my hands moved and I opened the main windows. And just a few moments ago, after I opened the window, I sat down and a bee flew in past and threw into the other room. And so I started to think about the bees, and then I saw a really, really big pigeon as I was looking outside my window after opening it. In the back, I saw the biggest, most powerful pigeon, Ringo they call them, they're a wood pigeon, that I've ever seen land on the feeding tray outside, and the feeding tray was so heavy, the feeding tray went like this. I thought, wow, that's the biggest one of them I had ever seen in my life. I thought, maybe I should take a picture of that, send it to my lady. Then suddenly, bang, its mate lands too, on the water side. He's standing on the seed side, and she's on the water side. She's drinking water, he's eating seed. Oh, you can't make this stuff up. I thought, that's interesting, what that's all about. And then I come out and I go and look, and I notice, I make my coffee, and I finished the last jar. Well, I did that already. I finished the last jar of honey, and I'd had run it under the tap. I got the final honey out with the milk, and I had to wash that under the tap. And it was still sitting there with water in it, so I poured the water out, I put the top on it, and I went to the stack, and I noticed the stack. This was the 6th brick in the wall, if you like. I just realised it was a wall at that point because it now became even. There was 6 of them, and I noticed that the bees weren't lined up because I'd just seen the bee. I noticed the bees weren't lined up, so I moved all the glass jars so that the bees lined up, and I took a photograph of it and sent it to my lady. I thought, that's interesting, and then I meditate on that a bit. I say, you know what? We need a whole wall of these great divine couples. Now I'm seeing a fly in front of me. And so I decided to start this video. I'm going to take 5, and then I'll meditate a little bit more, and we'll see where this video is heading. A whole wall of divine couples at the highest level, of avatars of synthesis. Let's find out where this is going. Did you hear that? Now, I'm just going to talk about the word rose, R-O-W-S-E, the name of the honey, on the honey, repeated 6 times. And so I was going to talk about that, and I was going to talk about the old Grail cup that was standing next to it. And as I got to the foot of the Grail cup, the foot of it, and I just turned the video off, I just started to hear, there's some cooing on there. That big pigeon wants to be on the video, yeah. And so if you heard that, that was the star of the show, the big pigeon cooing there, as confirmation, because if we're all part of nature, living in the natural order, then all of nature works together. The same power that moves my hand in this moment to take the video moves the voice of the pigeon to coo. There's nothing unscientific about that. It's just a matter of understanding that all is one. And the best physicists in the world come to realizing that that is the case. Yeah? Time and space is not separate, yeah, really. It's a continuum. Time, space, and becoming better and worse. Now, scientists don't know about the becoming better and worse aspects. Yet you can see that in the autumn comes, and the winter comes, the summer comes. The world gets better, the world gets worse. Yeah? It's part of nature. The leaves fall off, the leaves grow. Repeats ad infinitum. And there are many things we've learnt. As a summary of the last 5,000 years, we've learnt many things. And the greatest thing we've learnt is the avatar of synthesis. That there's something higher that man can get to on the great chain of being. He can become the avatar of synthesis in this time. And the avatar of synthesis is a greater couple than a messianic couple, Messiah couple. An avatar of synthesis couple is higher. And always evolution is bringing us to higher levels on the pathway, on the great chain of being, to higher positions of aristocracy in the world, with greater powers and greater wisdom. And it came to me in the night, not last night, I think it was the night before. I haven't got around to really making a video about it yet. This is probably that video. I can only speak what comes to me in the moment. And so it's coming to me now, together with all these bricks in the wall. Now, I told you, you witnessed the New Grail cup going into its position here. And if you watch my videos, which are all unpremeditated, over the last few years, you'll see quite a few different Grail cups have moved through, and eggs have moved through this process. You can even see, I think, eventually you have to wear the egg. Somebody has to make for you the object that puts the egg around your neck. That's the next level of the egg journey. That egg is not worn yet. The one that's worn is in my boat in Cornwall, just hanging there in the boat. It's done, that egg is finished, and it's the old jewellery, it's hanging there in the boat, okay. That was achieved and finished, that journey, with a boat journey, a final pilgrimage to a very great place in Cornwall that I'm not going to tell you about yet. And so you witnessed that, and you witnessed the new egg cup, and you saw the old egg cup. The old egg cup is just an egg cup now. You can use it to eat your egg in if you make boiled eggs. And I use that other cup that you saw, that's my old Grail cup, which my most sacred object used to be. I just drink water out of that now. Okay. Yeah. This is my old one before that. This one's finished now. I can use this, can go in the kitchen and as an egg cup to eat my boiled egg in. Yeah, that's all. It's nothing. It's not my Grail cup anymore. So the Grail cup becomes the most sacred object on the altar of the couple initiate, the initiate, and it then just becomes a normal object again as you get another one. You know? And so you have to start somewhere. There's another thing here. This is the dark cup. This is the dark cup, the drinking horn here. It's the opposite of that. This is what Rudolf Steiner used to put cow muck in and bury in the ground to do biodynamic farming. Well, I wouldn't know anything about that. But I know that things that go in here, if anything goes in here, it's to take it out, yeah, to decompose it, yeah. It's the dark cup. Out of the darkness comes the light, and out of the light comes new life, the egg. The egg is coming out of there. The compost is going down there, yeah. And they become symbolic objects on the altar, and God can talk to you through the movement of objects. And this is how you know about God, because of the signs in the universe. God makes his presence felt through the signs in the universe. Okay, so that was a sign there, the bricks in the wall. The bricks countries and the bricks in the wall. And the bee. The bee is the most divine creature in nature. And the bee likes to live in little round houses, yeah. We put the bee in square houses, yeah. It's not right. And so we keep the bee in square houses. Now we've got parasites living off the bee, because there are parasites making money out of bees. So we've got parasites on the bees. The bees are covered in parasites. The parasites have taken over the bees. The bees are supposed to be kept by us individually. We're supposed to have our little house in nature, and on our front porch is our nice round beehive, and that's our egg. That's our egg. And the people make these things, they don't know that's their egg, but it is. It just shows that God says, this place is in order, this human being is in order, this human being is a divine couple, and here is his egg. Yeah. And he'll be living in an egg cup, a nice beehive looking house at the highest level. And so when all these people who live in square houses went and destroyed the natural world order, they found people living in nice divine round houses. Now round houses are more divine than square houses. Yeah. And people who live in square houses are fallen people. And you'll see, if you live in a trapezoidal or triangulated house, there's some really bad stuff is going on in there, really bad stuff. That's a demonic shape. There's a building that comes to mind in New York. I can't remember its name. There's something iron building. It's on a junction with a corner that looks like this, and it's shaped like this. You've seen photos of it. Stieglitz took a great picture of it. I can't remember its name. You don't want to be in one of these buildings, yeah. And so what happened in Africa was, after they all fell, after the Africans fell, they were first living in little round mud huts with nice straw roofs and that. And they thought, no, we need to be in little small square prisons with iron roofs. Super hot in the summer, you know. And so that's what they find themselves wanting. They want to build these things themselves. And they move out of their little round huts and let them all go to pot and end up in these concrete, rectangular, iron-roofed coffins. Yeah. So man thinks he's making fancy architecture, yet he's just making signs in the universe to show his fallen state. I'll take 5. Now I've just noticed the numbering of these videos is interesting. When we started the video, the first video that I made zooming in the introduction onto the jars, that was 329. So the first video I made speaking was 330. And now we've done 331, 332, and this video we're about to make is 333. Okay, so this should be pretty conclusive and probably the best part of the video, probably coming up on this one. Because of the numbering scheme, it has to be, yeah. 3 is a final number. 33 is like a final number of the 30 of the tens. 30 is like the group, yeah. And 300 must be like the next level after the group, the nation. 300 is the nation, yeah. So 333 is kind of like the mastery of the nation. 33 is the mastery of the group. "20 is a couple, perhaps 23 is the mastery of the couple. 13 is a special number. 10 is the master, the number of the master. 13 is also the number of the group. That's interesting. 13 must be the start of the group, and 30 must be the manifestation of the group. 33 is probably the completion of the group. Okay. 3 is a perfect number. You go the waltz, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It gets to 3 and it starts at 1 again. So the Maori people knew there was only 3 numbers in the universe. Now I want to come back to this word rose, the name on this honey. Now ro, R-O, is like the highest form of Ra. Ra is the creator, Ra, in Egypt, Ra, creator. And Ra is the opposite of Ah. Ah, if you turn it around, A-R, Ah is fear. Ah, it's fear. And Ra is perfect power in the creative field. Ra is God in the personal level, but Ro, R-O, is the highest God, creator God, the highest creator God, Ro, right? This is on the B bottle, remember? And Ro, Wis, wise, W, I need to get the bottle. Okay, you know I told you in Hebrew you leave the vowels out. So this is wise. It's also was, vase, and wise. Now vase, in the thing that holds the wisdom in the Chinese is called the ting. Na. Ti means coming to, and na means the great, coming to the great. Ro means the greatest creator of wisdom, the greatest creator of wisdom, the vase of wisdom, the ting, the vase of wisdom. And the vase of wisdom is the divine couple at the highest level. And the highest level we've achieved as humanity today is the avatar of synthesis level. That's the highest level we've achieved as the human race. Now, at the time of Jesus, when Jesus came, Jesus manifested the divine couple in the form of Mary Magdalene and Jesus of Nazareth coming together as a couple to become Jesus the Christ. It was a couple, it wasn't an individual, right? Now, what Jesus Christ came to bring was the teachings of how to become number 10 and number 13, the master, okay, the master. The path of mastery was, thy will be done, thy kingdom come. That's Jesus' main teaching. That if you give up your will, your little will of wanting stuff, understand that everything's perfect and happening automatically, and let God the Father do the work of creating everything that happens to us, then we'll find ourselves back in nature, in natural order. Okay. So he gave the individual teaching for that. There wasn't any teaching about how to become a divine couple. There was only the knowledge that there was a Mary Magdalene, and she was the greatest disciple of Jesus, and so on, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. There was only a hint of it. There wasn't a reality of it. Now, what Elisabeth and I have done is we've carried on the work of another couple that came to deliver teachings. Now, the name somehow got to come to me. What's coming to me is Lighthouse. Lighthouse. I know that their organisation that they made to distribute the teachings was called Lighthouse, something or other, yeah. And they had the position that Elisabeth and I had to bring the first couple teachings to the world. Yeah. And when they passed on, he died and she carried on for a bit. And they were going out, yeah, the teachings were obsolete, not obsolete, but it was time for more new stuff. And so we got their position that they were holding in the hierarchy to bring the next set of couple teachings to the world. And that was our early work. You can see our early work. There's actually another channel, I think. I have another channel that's got a lot of couple teachings on it. I can't remember what it's called. I just put it up there and haven't looked at it since, yeah. So some people may be finding it on YouTube, some people may be finding it, some people may not be finding it. I don't know. I haven't checked on it for years. Because I have my work to do, yeah. That's my old work, yeah. The old work was to bring the teachings, the pathway to the divine couple. Well, that's all been done. And you can find that. If you find it, you find it. If you don't find it, well, you don't need it. Maybe you already got there. Now, the teachings that are coming here are actually to build the wall. You know, just another brick in the wall. That's what I am. I'm just another brick in the wall. I'm kind of like a kind of foundation stone of that wall of avatars of synthesis. Because the next thing after the divine couple, if you can become a divine couple, then the next thing, the hint of what's to come after that, I brought the teaching how to become a divine couple. When I say I am Adam of Light. And Adam of Light is not an individual, it's a couple. It's little Adam and little Elisabeth. And Adam of Light is the teacher, if you like, the couple teacher. It needs, Adam of Light requires a couple to initiate into reality, to be able to deliver the teachings. Whatever Adam of Light delivers. We have to wait and see what that is. Okay. Now, at the moment, it's the avatar of synthesis is another level, if you like. And the avatar of synthesis brings a different kind of teaching. Synthesizes the wisdom of the past. And it's necessary that many avatar syntheses appear in the universe. That's the destiny of mankind. And when there are many avatars of synthesis on the planet, then that wall will have been built and mankind will be able to move into a new government, if you like, based on wisdom rather than folly. At the moment we've got government by folly. We've got false kings meeting with false princes. We've got the King of England meeting the Prince of France today. And it's a meeting based in folly, not in wisdom. And yet we've got another meeting at the same time between Judge Neapolitano, I think his name is, from America, and George Galloway, the king, the real natural king of England. Perhaps Judge Neapolitano, or whatever his name is, can't remember, is, he could be the natural judge, if you like, of the American people, as certainly George Galloway is the judge of the English people. And these two are meeting today, the two natural people who hold those positions, similar to what Macron and that hereditary King Charles are. The fake hereditary, put into positions unnaturally by our American Israel, I'm afraid. Also operates in the royal family. Mossad also has dirt on the royal family, yeah. And we've seen George, if you look at George's video of the day, of yesterday I think, you will find a very great meeting with the judge and George, and they discuss the terrible state of affairs in the world around Mossad, the Epstein files, and our American Israel. And so we're all coming to the same wisdom in the same moment in time. And the solution is appearing in the same moment in time. And all of you have to go to higher levels of initiation to bring about the reconstruction of the world. And we need many thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of divine couples. And we need 1,000 avatars of synthesis in the world to achieve the natural order again, to create the necessary power in the material world to allow the divine to function properly and overcome the evil in the world. And that's what's required. You can't do it with less than that. You know, it's a long time since the fall, since Magna Carta and the rule of law that destroyed the natural order, that John of Salisbury cried about in his book, the frivolities of courtiers and the lack of serious wisdom in the leadership in both the church, in those days it was the state, the church was the state, and the state. When they talked about the state, they talked about kings, the church and kings. But now we've got Parliament bossing everybody around. And there's no validity of parliaments doing anything of the sort. All parliaments are there to do and to support the church and kings. And that Grail Cup you saw in the beginning, those 6 bottles, they're the foundation stone of that cup. And that cup represents the true church, the true church. If you have that cup, you're part of that true church. If this is all you've got, God help you. Thanks for watching. Now, whilst I was watching back that video, the name of that couple came to me, and the name is Mark Prophet and Elisabeth Clair Prophet. Mark and Elisabeth Clair Prophet. They brought the first couple teachings, and they used to give these teachings for free in the early days. I got these teachings for free. Yet because they made an organisation to make money from the teachings and that, it all fell, and now you can only get these teachings by buying them. So I didn't talk about this on the last video because the last video's number was 333, and I noticed this one is 334, and 4 is a squareness, a square house. So you can see that their house became a square house, and now the true people, part of the order, natural order of poets, bards and druids, who needed their teachings, couldn't get them because they were all living without money. There was no way that they could get those teachings because they didn't have the money to buy them. And so the whole purpose of that organisation defeated itself. As soon as it organised itself, it defeated itself. And so those teachings were no longer available. And another person comes to mind. In South Africa there was a lady called Anrita Melchizedek, and she also had some teachings like that, some important teachings. She came and brought some important teachings, but she wanted to make money out of them. And so I published her teachings. I had a website, I published her teachings in PDF form for nothing. People could just download them. She got a bit upset about me, and I said, no. I said, the people need the teachings. They haven't got the money to pay for them. They need them. And that was to do with the higher rays that were emerging into the universe back at that time. I think it was the time I was involved with the Utopia experiment. And I needed this material that she had, and I managed to get it in PDF form. Then they shut it down. You couldn't get it in PDF form after I got it. You couldn't get it anymore. Well, everything's perfect and happening automatically. Maybe, I got it and a few people got it, and then the rest was shut out. I don't know. Don't know why. You don't know why. You don't know what anything's for. You have to go with the flow. And so, Mark and Elisabeth Clair Prophet taught about the twin flame and the soulmate, and the difference between these terms, and quite a bit of stuff in the beginning of the journey to the divine couple. Yeah, and what Elisabeth and I taught were the higher level teachings about how to get further along the journey, how to stay the divine couple all the way through to beyond the divine couple and the avatar synthesis. So that's our earlier mission, if you like. That was our earlier mission. And now our mission, the mission of the avatar synthesis, is to synthesize all of the wisdom of the past 5,000 years so that a new order of poets, bards and druids, which one could call a new church, not a church in the world. If you read the book The Shepherd of Hermas, this describes the true meaning of the word church. It's a nice little book to read. I suggest you read it. And this was a book that the early Christians used to understand what the true church was. The same way I put forward that the true order, the natural order of poets, bards and druids is that true church. You know? And the teachings of the Shepherd of Hermas were quietly gotten rid of by the church in the world, because they didn't want people to have that view of the church. They wanted you to think that the church was that thing down the road in that building, and all headed up by the Pope in Rome, yeah? Which of course is the exact opposite of the natural order. That's enough, I think. And that probably rounds it out. We'll see. If it does, finish this video. Thanks for watching.